I can't believe how fat I've gotten. I'm just so flat. I'm gonna, I can't believe it, because like now there's summer and I'm like actually, like, you can cover yourself up in winter, but when you look at yourself in summer and you're like, holy crap, how did that happen? Alright, so I need to find something fun to exercise. So, find something fun to move my body. Yeah, I definitely need that. So, me and Zany went to the library last week and we got some DVDs and books and things like that for him. And Jay kind of completely wrecked one of the books. So I'm about to go to the library now to return the books and to find out what happens when you destroy one of their books. And we've bought a brand new one with the hopes that that will be good enough, but I don't know if that will be good enough because it's not the same one. So there's that problem. I am absolutely loving this. Is so funny. I love it. I think I was reading, like, he quoted from what was the astronaut, Edgar D. Mitchell, about his experience of viewing Earth from the moon. You develop an instant global consciousness, a people orientation, an intense dissatisfaction with the state of the world, and a compulsion to do something about it. From out there on the moon, international politics looks so petty. You want to grab a politician by the scruff of the neck and drag him 250,000 miles and say, "Look at that, you son of a bitch." And he was just talking about how much he loves that quote, and how would he achieve such a thing? And how would he grab a politician by the neck and take him to the moon and force him to get a better perspective about what we're here for? And he goes into all of that pages of how would he do that. So he'd grab, he'd kidnap the politician and he'd take him to space training and then put him in a suit and put him in a rocket and strap him in and spend a few days getting to the moon and then finally march him out and force him to see a different perspective, and that he doesn't think that, from this perspective, that he'd probably by the time he even kidnapped the politician, he'd start to feel a connection to the terrified politician and have love and compassion for him and wouldn't go ahead with it anyway. Yeah, but it was really funny the way that you can imagine the way that Russell talks while you're reading it, and I was laughing out loud while I was at the cafe. So many good perspectives in here, and showing people a different perspective, but also saying he's not trying to get rid of what we've created or anything, but to appreciate more of what the truth of what we don't notice anymore. So yeah, you can keep your modern stuff, but also realize that we're standing in the sky, that kind of thing. To take that 20-40 minutes a day or whatever to go within and appreciate, enjoy that other aspect of what we are. Anyway, yeah, to reattach ourselves to the nature of who we are. Yeah, anyway, it's I'm really enjoying it. This one I took to the cafe yesterday. Sometimes I like to grab a book and just see what automatically, just do this and sort of see what comes up. And yesterday, what I was talking about the highway was related to what I ended up getting. This is the page that I ended up going on, and it's talking about bark flower remedies and the different categories that different bark flower remedies target. But I didn't know that at the time because I just opened up to a page that didn't explain what it was about. But the first paragraph that I read was Cereto. I don't even know how to pronounce that word, C-E-R-A-T-O. Cereto personality types do not trust their own hearts, minds, or instincts. Instead, they seek the advice of others and rely on this advice to direct their lives. This almost certainly creates an imbalance, for it is only by honestly listening to our own inner voice that we may walk the path to true physical and emotional wellness. While seeking advice is certainly important in most of life's circumstances, the Soreto type uses this advice as a crutch. Soreto flower essence will encourage one to listen to one's own inner wisdom and facilitate spiritual growth in this respect. It was so related to one of the rambles that I had yesterday. And it goes through all these different flower remedies and from the different personality types of different categories, like number 1, uncertainty. Number 2, lack of interest in daily life. Number 3, loneliness. Number 4, hypersensitivity. Number 5, despair. Number 6, caring too much about others. Number 7, fear. And it's got different flower remedies for those, and then it goes into colour there. So this has got a whole bunch of, different permission slips to rebalance oneself. It's got about chakras and breathing techniques, nutrition, care of the soul, meditation, music, doing what you love to do. And it talks about all the body's glands and organs and things like that, and what nutrition they need and what could be out of balance if those things are not looked after and that kind of thing. So that was a good browse. I couldn't get in. It's not very interesting, but it's got a lot. It covers a lot of subjects. So it's sort of like, this one might be a good one for like the bookshelf when someone's complaining of a certain complaint, to look up and see the different things that could help, different permission slips. But I can't just sit there and read it cover to cover. It's too boring. Even though it's interesting subjects, it's just like, it doesn't grab you. And this one, I thought this one was going to be good too, and it probably is. It's got a lot of exercises and things like that for telling your story, digging up your past and dealing with your past. So I was like, since I've just been doing that over the last few years, I thought maybe there's I can relate to it. So I thought I'll see what they say about it. It's basically a workshop in a book about self-forgiveness, awakening, finding, getting your emotional needs met, and to kind of dig up the past so you can forgive the past, so that you can live in the present. Also, hard book to read, cover to cover. It's also got yoga and things in it, different exercises there, but it's mostly like workshop exercises and things like that. But it's not one that I could read cover to cover, so it's one of those ones that you could probably get out, take some notes on, and use it as your own little personal workshop to help get rid of the victim vibe and into your full bowl. That is all. Alright, so I'm going to try and talk to a government place today about their $2,000 bill that they've stung on me. So I'm not looking forward to that, but let's just see what happens. I want to see why they think that, and if they've made a mistake, because I hope they have made a mistake, because I don't have $2,000. If I had $2,000, I would feel so rich. I live in minus, and I'm minus now. So it's like, how are you going to pull that $2,000? Do you want an arm? Do you want my arm? How am I going to give you $2,000? I don't have $2,000, but this is apparently for something 3 years ago. And I don't have access to 3 years ago to actually see what they're talking about. But at least if I can access what they're talking about, and then when I can take to the table, okay, to these other guys and say, okay, these guys reckon this, and now give me access to 3 years ago so I can compare and see if they're right, or if I don't owe this at all, because I don't like making mistakes. You want to, I'm like this anti-conformist kind of thing, but at the same time, I obey. This is one of the big problems that I've had. I do obey. I like to live outside of the box, but I still obey. So I don't know what I've done or if they've done something wrong, but I don't have $2,000, so it's worth me at least going in there and trying to figure out why. Where has this come from and why is it wrong? And I hope it doesn't put me in a shitty mood, but because I'm fine. And then I intend to find a new job. Since it looks like I'm going to be in the area at least another couple of months, probably till January at least, let me just find something else in this area rather than holding out where I am, which I'm only getting like 2 days a week, and I'm not able to get on top, so at least let me try and find a full-time job around here somewhere, at least for a couple of months until we figure out what's going on. Yeah, alright, bye. Oh my god, I just wait in line forever, and then told them what the problem was. They said, you're going to have to ring this number. Thank you, next. I don't know how that building is still intact. And I can understand why there's a security guard right at the door. Oh dear. I don't know what that phone number is going to give me. Probably nothing, but a never-ending. They're never going to answer. Government companies do not answer the phone. Now time to return these books to the library and face something that I actually know that we've done wrong by. I know Jay didn't realise it was a library book. He doesn't know the concept between whether it's a library book or our book or whatever. So he was just cutting out the pictures in the book, and it was fun until everyone realised which book he was cutting up. I wasn't home, I was at work. I watched a video from Delirious Donut again, my soul brother. And it is so, you know, like this world that I'm in now is so far removed from the life that he's living. These daily adventures that I go on of trying to fix things that relate to the system, that are, you know, broken things. And he's like looking at lakes and rivers and mountains and playing guitar. Driving, meeting new people, living free, which is where we're aiming for. I don't know how he makes his money. I mean, you need money to drive. He's not on a bike. You need to find some kind of job that allows you to work from the road or make money where you're not the one. Like part of my last business used a lot of, I had about 128 outsources. So people like, you know, that could do extra things that I didn't know how to do or didn't want to do. You know, either things that were just tedious and I didn't want to do them, or basic things where it's time wasting for me to do it. And I don't know why, but like there's so many ways where we could just continue using these. Like there are so many outsourced companies now that help people, like that help Western society really do their business, and it helps the Filipino society live true to their values, because they like to live with their family and be provider for their family. And these kind of internet companies allow them to work from home, so they can be dad, mum, brother, sister in a house, whereas any other job would require them either to move country and send money home, or work for a corporation that just pays a small amount, and they're just working there, you know, 60, 70, 80 hours a week for minimal money to be able to support the whole family. So these kind of internet companies, they're cheap for us, cheaper. They're not too cheap, but they're cheaper. They're cheap for us, and they allow these Filipinos to live the lifestyle that they want to live. So it's win-win. And as long as it's win-win, it's an option. I don't know why I haven't even set that up, you know, like I can use that and still be on the road. You know, they can make money and I can make money. I think it's just more because I've been trying to think of a way where money isn't something that I'm aiming for. But I think I need to, you know, the universe sort of is telling me you need to work with the system that we have. Make it work for you. Anyway, let's return these books. Oh, that wasn't so bad. Apologise profusely, and they didn't want the book that my sister had bought to replace it, so They charged me for the book, which was only $4.90. So, that was fine. That's fair. I didn't feel ripped off. I was happy to pay for that because it's our fault, you know. I hope my mechanic comes this week and fixes the car, the van. I really need to go to Ballarat to pick up my summer stuff. I can't keep wearing these. I want my clothes, I want my summer clothes. It's so hot. And I could probably drive to Ballarat in this car, but it's not insured yet. That's another thing. We're currently comparing insurance places. So it's not good to even drive it right now, but it's only so many hours in a day and only so many dollars in the pocket. So I'm going to message my mechanic, try and find a labour hire agencies in the area and sign up for all of them, and maybe upload this boring video, which I doubt because it's so boring, but hey, fuck it, I'll probably upload it anyway, and have a look in the community newspaper thingy, community magazine, to see if there's any fun activities that help you move your body so I can lose this, you know, get the toxins moving, because any kind of flab like this is absolute toxic. It's toxins and it's in me. Yuck. I need to get rid of them because it would be clouding my mind as well. You are this whole thing, so I need to start moving those toxins around as I start to eat better and blah blah blah. Actually, I might make a fruit smoothie now. Yeah. Bye.